Barbara Walters, after 50-plus years doing network television, she has announced her retirement. And earlier this week on The View, she actually gave us a date. Let's take a look.
You may remember that last spring, I said that I would leave daily television in a year. So here we are. It's almost 1 year later. And I have decided that Friday, May 16th, will be my final appearance on The View as a co-host. That evening, May 16th, there will be a 2-hour ABC News primetime special looking back at my career for over 50 continuous years on the air.
Wow.
Man, I've been doing a YouTube show for a year, and I think that's a long time. 50 consecutive years on air. So I want to talk about Barbara first, and then we'll talk about The View. Why is it that Barbara Walters doesn't get into that gay icon status that these older women seem to get into? Of course, for me, the Golden Girls, but there's just plenty of older women, Judy Garland, whoever, that the gay community loves. For some reason, Barbara Walters, even though she's a proponent of gay rights and is on TV every day and talking about liberal causes and things like that, she never made it there for some reason.
I find it hard to trust anyone with eyes that are just that big.
It's the work, but gays don't have a problem with a woman with work. Come on.
No. Yeah, I think that she comes across as like a little pretentious. At the same time, I appreciate the barriers that she has broken down and that she was like really at the forefront of what she was doing. But I just don't feel like the same warm, fuzzy. I don't know. She kind of strikes me as a cunt.
Just kind of.
Wow.
Just kind of strikes him.
All right. To that point, is it partly because she's a newswoman, so she's more serious than gays like over the top?
I was gonna say,
gays like camp.
Yeah, she doesn't have a drag doppelganger, I think, is the thing. It's hard to, you're right, it's hard to impersonate her into, all of our icons are performers, mostly.
Yeah.
They're easier to emulate. And Betty White is a comedian, even though she's not a singer.
Yeah.
So,
but shouldn't we love someone like Barbara Walters, who did break down all those barriers and is actually doing something? I mean, she did for women what we want someone to do for gay people, right?
I think we do love her. I love her.
Yeah.
I highly respect her. I think she's fierce as hell. The way she like reins in The View and like cuts co-hosts down as they step out of line.
She brings them in and cuts them down.
I think people really respect her. I certainly really adore her, and I think I find her to be inspirational and very ambitious. But I think I never thought about this, but yeah, she's difficult to iconize, whatever that word is.
That was close.
I mean?
That was close to the word. All right, so let's talk about The View a little bit, because I think there's something really fascinating with The View and gay people. There was a couple of years where I watched The View every day when Rosie was on.
Oh my God.
And Joy was on. They were so amazing together. Rosie obviously is gay. Joy is as close to gay as possible, I guess, without being gay. What is it about The View, and what is it about a group of women that are outspoken that gays love? Because if there was a show of 5 gay guys sitting around a table, or 4 gay guys, gays would not be into it.
No, we would never watch.
So what is that? What is that?
Well, I mean, I like to watch it because I like to see how like disinterested Joy is, and she's just like trying to get through the show. That she's just like, is this really another week of The View?
Which is probably why she left The View after she was on for 12 years or something like that.
Yeah. It's I think you can't paint all gay people with a broad brush that like all gay people like The View, but it's the same reason that people like The View. It's a distraction from everyday life. Like there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of cattiness that goes on.
Yeah.
And people like that.
But
it's like
what is it-
masturbating. It is.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like this like meaningless. Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Right. What is it though about gay guys that are you guys with me that if it had been a table of 4 gay guys that it never would have done nearly as well as having women? Maybe middle-aged women would have liked it. Because middle-aged women love gay guys, but that gay guys wouldn't have been as into it if it had been gay guys at the table.
I agree with you. I think there's not as wide of appeal if it's all just gay men, but that's a cultural thing for another. That's another side conversation.
Right. But I'm talking about 4 gay men watching it. Why is it that gay men would be more inclined to watch a group of women at a table than gay men at a table?
I think it's the same reason why gay men loved Sex and the City, because that show, those were gay men masquerading as women. I think the cast of The View, those are gay men masquerading as women. I think those conversations remind us of private conversations that we have. I think we love the fashion, we love the hair. There's a certain element of glam, and it's elevated, it's heightened. It's our lives heightened for, and now you're right, we can't paint it with the big brush, but their appeal is the same reason that the reality shows have appeal.
Yeah.
And fashion shows have appeal.
So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, final thought on this. I was thinking, Barbara said the thing about the 50 years and all that. Do you think that's just like a thing that's long gone? People that are going to have these sort of iconoclastic, I think is the word
there
we were
go.
saying before, careers where they last 50 years in the biz? Is she really one of the sort of, I don't want to call her a dinosaur, but you know what I mean? Is that it, really? That we won't have people that last this long in this kind of business?
Well, I mean, I don't think so. I think there's going to be other people that are doing that. But the important thing with Barbara Walters is that like she broke down so many barriers that stood in her way that like in that sense she's legendary in what she did.
Right.
And there will be other people at the front of their game doing things that have never been done. But those were some like really big walls to break down.
Yeah. So I guess there aren't that many walls to break down. Hopefully,
different
right?
walls.
As things,
Yeah.
different walls are just to pop up. I
Not
guess.
for her.
Right.
Not for people of her, not for white women in broadcasting.
Right.
They're here.
There'll be other walls
Yes.
to break down.